Hello to everybody, our dear subscribers, FutureTrend channel. Glad to welcome all of you. And today is 5th of February 2019. We are ready to present our point of view of how to trade major currencies and the world financial markets. As regarding today, the market continues to trade more or less sideways. That applies, for example, for the euro-dollar. Euro-dollar continue to trade in a very tight range. Probably the same applies for the most of major currencies. From the point of view of fundamental analysis, it's hard to emphasize something new today. Probably it will be worth mentioning the overnight Royal Bank of Australia rate decision, where the Royal Bank of Australia decided to be not so dovish as the market expected, and that's probably explained the resilience of the Aussie dollar. That's after the plunge to below 72, now trading around 72.60. But we have to understand that now probably the futures market regarding the future of interest rates for the most developed economies, the futures market is more accurate than the prediction of the central banks themselves. The same applies, for example, for the Fed. As you know, at the end of last year, the Fed told that they would raise interest rates in 2019 probably 2 times more, but the beginning of 2019 was absolutely different, and now the patient tactic chosen by the Fed is in full play, and probably from that point of view Royal Bank of Australia also is mistaken at the moment. And if the market suggests that sooner or later that the Australian Central Bank will cut rates in 2019, probably it will really take place. So from that point of view, the Australian dollar should not trade higher from nowadays. Anyway, as regarding technical point of view, probably it will be more interesting and it will be more important to emphasize the technical analysis of the major currencies, taking into account that today the economic calendar is more or less empty. There is some data, for example, like non-manufacturing purchasing managers index from the United States ISM Institute. Anyway, of course, it's an important indicator, barometer of the United States economy, but taking into account that in the Asian market, the lunar New Year holidays will take an effect for the whole week, probably the activity will be more or less subdued in the world foreign exchange market as a whole. As regarding a technical point of view, let's start from the euro-dollar. The euro-dollar continues to trade in a tight range for a long period of time, by the way, between roughly says 113 and 115. So it's not so important to add to our point of view of this pair. At the moment, we continue to suggest that in case of dipping closer to the level of 113, it will be a good opportunity to buy the currency. And of course, there should be some analysts or some traders that will prefer to sell the currency above the level 115. As regarding dollar yen, after yesterday's spike to above 110, and now the pair continues to trade more or less calmly around 109.90. We continue to suggest that from a longer term point of view, while trading below its moving average 200 daily line, located at the moment around 111.25, sooner or later the dollar yen should trade lower. Anyway, don't forget, there is a point of view that after a flash crash to the a level of 105 at the beginning of 2019, the dollar yen fulfilled its medium to longer term targets to the downside and now to trade from a longer term point of view higher. Sterling should fully rely on the development regarding the Brexit negotiations. The market continued to expect that sooner or later, before the deadline of March 29, the UK will, between the UK and European Union will be signed a kind of Brexit deal, and that should save sooner or later the British economy as well as the British pound. That's probably explained why the cable is so let's say bold at the moment, despite of a lot of uncertainties that still surround the situation or around the Brexit. Dollar Swiss is really very close to cross its critically important barrier located around the parity level, and in case of a real closing above this level, probably the pair will further improve its bullish perspectives, and next level to watch to the upside in that case will be the highs of 2018 located around 101.28. But like in the case of dollar yen traded above important barrier 110 anyway, continue to trace sideways around this level. It means that even the penetration of such kind of important technical barriers does not mean that finally the pair will move strongly to one side. We should understand that even here, for example, some kind of stop losses could be executed around 10010, but after that the dollar Swiss could return to below the parity level. As regarding some other currencies, here is our analysis of euro crosses, and we should concentrate your attention probably on here on euro sterling. Euro sterling is from our point of view is more interesting at the moment, because like euro Swiss and euro yen continue to trade more or less to the north, but very slowly. And also here, like for example in euro yen, it's hard to say that of course now the pair will strongly trade to the upside. Anyway, from a longer term point of view, there is a kind of downtrend line located at the level of 126.70, and we should use this barrier. We will use this barrier to sell the currency. As you could see, we are ready to sell at 126.60. Don't forget that around this line also lies 200 daily moving line around 128.54, not so close to this level, but anyway we should understand that despite of the so-called immediate kind of downtrend line at 126.70, there is another important line of downtrend line of 2019 located at 130.70. So there are a lot of barriers to the upside now for the euro yen, and at the moment it's really very hard to say that the pair will further move to the north. As regarding euro sterling, a lot of will depend on the Brexit situation. Anyway, we will use a kind of uptick to the level of we suggest now important resistance barrier located at the level of 0.894050 to implement another short position in the currency. As regarding the euro Swiss, there is an important barrier, as we suggest, of the highs of October 2018 located around 115, and also here we will try a short position in the euro Swiss, despite of the fact that, for example, moving average 200 daily line is located a little bit lower at 114.47. At the moment, that's all. For those looking for our opportunities or our trading ideas in the commodity block of currencies, here it's our analysis. We thank you very much and wish you a pleasant and profitable day ahead. Take care and bye bye for now.